2, 1.
Yes, we're live and we're bearded.
We back.
Okay, so it's a quick, fun show. We're going to run through the whole league, but we're not going to talk about everybody. Just a quick bullet point. It's mainly for those rookies. Everybody could watch. It's a lot of fun. But captains, we did finish the first 2 rounds.
Right. So yesterday we, really got it done in a timely fashion. The first 2 rounds of the draft. We can even run through that right now. If
it was done underground. Yeah, let's do it quick.
Okay. Let's
so
do
now
it.
there was a trade that you guys heard about, so you'll get it. We'll just run through this fast. Teddy Ishak drafted Michael Cohen with his number 1 pick. It was not a shocker. Number 2, Michael Sabon Solomon, shocker, not shocker.
So, you're going to say it's a shocker, but how could it be a shock? Last year, in his sophomore campaign, came to the table, came to play, went to the World Series, threw a perfect game in the World Series, only growing, only getting stronger. And as we saw last year, he was dominant on the mound, and we're going to get to it right now. Your son, Yitzhak Sutton, I've seen him before my own eyes grow even bigger, stronger, throws faster.
Big, strong, hairy kid.
So as much as it's a shocker that he went number 2 overall, it's not that big of a shocker.
17-year-old, strong kid. So he was number 2. Number 3,
Gabe took himself.
Right, Stephen Gindy, number 4.
Took himself.
And now, interesting, Teddy did make a trade and took Yaakov Saruya.
Yeah, he wanted that bat, he wanted that fire, and he went and got it.
MC Yak, it's a fun group.
And if you look at it, he traded up to get this combo of MC and of Yak. So it's an interesting combination. It's a nice, firepower. You have the outfielder, you have the starting first baseman, I guess, for
maybe
Yaakov.
second base.
Maybe we'll see what he's going to do.
Okay, and look, we don't know what Yaakov. He could even play right field. So remains to be seen.
Now here's another. I don't want to call it a reach, but it was like it went in the first round. I guess he wanted his boy. He went up and got him. We know he has all the ability. Edmund Beta selected center field extraordinaire David Buka Cohen.
So that's Edmund's only pick that was in these 2 rounds because he himself was slotted as a second rounder. Now, I played in a tournament with Edmund on the mound and David Buka Cohen in center, and he was the best player on the field that day. We know, like you said, he's got the ability. He's right there, so he took him. Sammy Esses, I think, got very
fortuitous spot in the draft. So he had the wraparound picks 7 and 8. He ended up taking Sammy Saruya at shortstop, and then he went and got himself an outfielder, Albert Cohen, who did win the batting title and MVP 2 years ago.
Last year, a rough year.
Yeah, and even
offensively.
And you know what? Here's my thing. Even if he's not the greatest offensively, which we know he has the ability, when you're set up the middle, shortstop, center field with youth and speed, he did a good job.
Real defense at short and center, and a 1 and 2 in the lineup.
Yeah.
Alco's probably the leadoff guy. We know they didn't finish their team yet, but it looks like Alco's batting 1 and Sam Missouri's batting 2.
Right, and then you have Edmund Beta on number 9 pick taking himself. So his 2 players, he has his Buka and himself. Also, pitcher center field, so he's starting off pretty nicely. And then at number 10, Adler selects himself. And then Stephen Gindy, of course.
Right, he was like dancing in his underwear for about 37 minutes. He sent the video quickly.
Yes, he did. And then deleted it.
Before we had a chance to screen record it, he did delete it. But he took none other than Joseph Arati.
What would M&S be if Stephen Gindy and Joe S were not?
It would be the foam rollers.
Yes. No, they
were together?
No, they were together. They rolled together.
No, but that was, I don't even remember. But there were a few years they weren't together, but together again. Together at last.
And then number 12, this was to me the biggest shocker of the draft thus far.
This was surprising.
A lot of players on the board, a lot of good players on the board, and Gabe Abadi elected to take in his estimation, the best bat on the board, and also
which might be.
He could very possibly be, but maybe you could have got him around later. I'm not sure. Maybe not. I don't know. But obviously his trajectory is on the rise. As Gabe Abadi of the Sarah's Kidbez organization took Solomon Fallis.
Solomon Fallis joined late last year, covered for Ike Mavora, but again, even in the Sunday morning YMSL League, he went 3rd or 4th round. So he's been shooting through. He's going to probably be playing short center field or second base.
I would assume.
To shortstop.
I would assume.
The only defense to that pick, in my mind, Sal's a great hitter. There's a lot of good defensive position players.
Right, so you can get them later in the draft, and you can build your bats up. Maybe.
So maybe that's why. But a little early in everybody's mind. But hey, Sal Fallis, pressure's on, baby.
That's it. And then number 13, Sabon, just like we saw Stephen Gindy got Joe S.
Yes, Sabon was wearing a thong in his video.
Yes, and he did not delete it. And he ended up selecting Alfred
He
Marshall.
tried to convince my son Yitz to dance with him. but he had socks on a little bit of an injury, so he chose not to be in the video.
So Ali Marshall, and then number 14 to round it out, Uri Adler selected Nutty Nadav Orbach, who last year, I'm not going to lie, didn't really impress as much as I thought he was going to.
He started hot Sunday morning when he took over Stephen Ginty's spot in YMSL, and then at night he really didn't carry over, and now he's got to pick up his hitting, and he knows it. So let's see.
So those are the first 2 rounds of the draft, and that sets up what we're about to do.
Sunday night's going to be the rest of that draft.
The 19th at the house of either Ike Mavora or Edmund Beta, undecided yet, but we're going to have a nice setup. We're going to have the rest of the balance of the draft. It's usually the most exciting nights of the year. One of them, it sets up the trajectory of everyone's summer of how it's going to shape out. So really the most important night of the league usually is the draft night. Obviously trades happen to follow, but a lot of preparations going into it, and that's the purpose of this video, to run through the list, highlight a few players, talk about some rookies, and...
Yeah, it's interesting how you just said that, how people's summers are going to look. We all have a great time playing. It's a draft. Means you can end up anywhere. So if some players are in the list, some guys backed out, and people that were dying to play are getting their opportunity, we're going to run through that now. It makes it a little more fun.
Without further ado, let's start. We're going to start by position. We're going to start with the first baseman. This is how everybody registered. It doesn't necessarily mean this is the position they're going to play when they get drafted, but this is the order that we're going to be going in.
This is almost a new show right now. So, see the hand? And now we start the scouting reports.
Let's do it.
Our guess, our estimation, yes, there's been players in the past that I thought were amazing that didn't pan through, and there's guys that we underrated that ended up better. So this is full disclaimer. It's what I think, what I spoke to people about, what Sammy spoke to people about. We did call, we did our due diligence, saw kids in cages, saw guys playing with KJ, saw them in the Lakewood League, saw them in Brooklyn. Sammy knows them. To the best of our ability.
That's it.
Let's go.
Let's start it off. And
Hank,
to lead
on
off,
Dweck.
Hank Dweck, we know year after year his
Power
power is just skyrocketing. We don't got to spend much time on Hank.
Correct. In our league, he's even has more value because now we know he could clear the fence
multiple times in a season.
Barry Finkel quickly became a diehard. We got him to cover for Mark Sabag last year.
Not Mark.
David. David, I always screw that up. I'm sorry. And he got the game-winning hit in the World Series. But more important than that, he was fully invested and all in.
Yeah,
I loved it.
He was his favorite league he ever played, and he told me. And then number 3 on this list, David Harari, a.k.a. SL. So David Harari, again, he's had a very checkered career.
Yeah, very interesting.
He's had years where he's been one of the best hitters on his team. He even won the MVP, I believe, in 2008,
6.
Maybe later than that. The year he got married, actually.
I don't know.
So and then he's switched over. He's a glue guy on some TI World Series teams. But either way, he always finds himself in the thick of things.
Great
in the
teammate.
postseason. Good teammate. Exactly.
Became a very, very strong fielding first baseman, and now he has a little bit more versatility. He's willing to catch on some teams, and he looks good. I played against him last week. He looks very good.
Moving on to Joey Hebrew Hammer Dweck, who vows not to miss any time for any other reason, and will only be playing in M&S. And the Hebrew Hammer,
power hitting Hebrew Hammer, tries to clear the fence. I don't think he did it yet.
I think that's the problem. I think if he just takes it a step back, just reels it in a little bit, he'll be a better hitter, because when he's going well, he hits those line drives up the middle all day. So
Maurice Haber, speaking of line drives up the middle, Maurice is like a fine wine. He does his due diligence. He's in good shape again. I know he's going to be more hungry than ever to be in the night league.
Are you saying based on his YMSL team right now?
That's correct.
Okay.
0-6. You got to look at a guy who's a gamer. What kills him, so you know he's dying to start a new league.
And then we have
unless they go on a run, but
either way, he's in that mode right now. And then we have Michael Saban Solomon, captain, Hall of Famer, one of the best ever to do it.
Moshe Azachi always has been a glue type guy, not glue guy. You could put him at second, put him up the middle, get some big hits over the course
goes
of
the
the
other
season.
way with his lefty bat. He's a valuable piece to have. So
Vic Deschrem. Only thing I'll say about Vic, he goes late in the draft. Over the last 15 years, I think he found himself in the World Series.
Yeah, listen, Richard Shrem gets his way in somehow, some way. Usually leads the league in walks somehow, some way. But he's just one of those guys who has good mazal. He ends up in the dance more often than not.
Talk about getting themselves in. Ike Mavora, a late addition.
Pops.
Yep, Pops is back. Solid bat. Runner, we say this all the time. Runner in scoring position, who you want up?
I only want Nike.
That's right.
Nobody else. I don't care who else is hitting well. I want
Aaron
Nike up.
Enoch, talking about a good hitter. Not the greatest defender, in unbelievable shape. He's got big biker.
Legs.
He's got, holy cow. So, big hitter. I could see him having a big year this year because he's only getting more and more adjusted to the
Right,
league.
he's accustomed to the league. We saw year one, he was a little uncomfortable. Last year, he looked a lot more comfortable.
Free swinging type player, but good hitter.
Yeah, and then speaking of a free swinger, we have Avi Dweck.
That's the opposite. Avi loves working deep counts.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Avi's famous for
No, I
going
wasn't.
3-2. Oh, you were talking about other stuff.
Yeah, I was talking about swinging something else. So Avi Dweck, what's wrong with you? So Avi
Three legs.
Dweck, the Night Stalker, like you said, fine wine with Maurice. He's actually in better shape now than he was in years past, now that he took up hockey full time.
He
So
has strong legs as well. He's a good hitter, Avi, Night Stalker. He got that label. Has years where he's better than worse, but again, a big hitter, tough guy to
so
pitch
last
to.
year, didn't he win the World Series on?
Yes, he did,
So,
and he was a big part of it. He got some big hits.
Yeah, so-
Played a good second base. Also, talk about a second base. This is a versatile player. He rode second base, but Carlos Abadi, at night he could hit. Lately, in the morning, he's been hitting great too.
It's
So
finally carrying over to the morning, but we
Yeah,
all
it's
know
great.
throughout his career, even when he was a captain, all the way back when, about 10 years ago, he's just been
Noom Sanity.
He's been, and also Noom Sanity was Saban's team.
Oh.
It was Noomsi being Noomsi.
Right.
Listen, Carlos is one of those guys you want on your team, no matter what. He makes the play, gets the hit. Great teammate, great guy. We
Great
love you,
guy.
Los.
Recent Player of the Week in the YMCA.
Los, yes, I saw.
So
Some
he's
nice
been
plays
hot.
at second base.
Talk about second base defense. Eli Harari,
Yes.
great defender, getting better every year with the bat, getting a little stronger.
You know what's good with Ellie? He's actually a guy, when you're down guys, you don't need to get a sub because he's a really good outfielder.
Yes, he can play the outfield.
Like,
That's
not
very
just
true.
average, like above average
Yeah,
outfielder.
no, he's very good. Ellio's a great player. Isaac Chunk Antar.
Chunk back for his sophomore season.
Now this is big because he played great defense last year, getting a little bit better as a hitter, and he's itching to get on the field
Yeah.
because he's not playing in any other league. So Isaac Antar, and he's been hacking and practicing.
Yeah, no, listen, Chunk's
So-
been at the cages weekly. Chunk's been taking grounders off the wall. I know his wife's been throwing him ground balls.
Yeah.
He's all in. He's all in.
Now this is interesting. First, real interesting
Yeah,
one.
listen, now we're going to just highlight whenever we get to a rookie to talk about each rookie. So now,
Bingo. Joe D.
Gindy.
Gindy. So that's Stephen Gindy's nephew.
Yeah.
I don't know if Stephen has him on his radar. He might not even want him.
Listen,
All know.
I
But
think it's a foregone conclusion that he ends up with him. I know Steven speaks the world of him. I know he's a really good defender as per the sources that I heard. Listen, he comes from the best stock there is when it comes to softball in our community.
And you got to imagine he's a good athlete.
Yeah, listen, I
so-
know he started on his team in high school. He's 18 years old. He's a good player from what I heard.
Very young. A lot of these young high school kids, this pitching might get to him. But I can imagine he's a good athlete.
Now let's move on to another rookie. Some guys in this league are familiar with him. It's Neil Schwecke.
And this is somebody you were talking highly of. I know nothing about him.
Neil swings a really nice bat. He's no power, but he's a slap hitter, likes to go the other way, solid defender at second, comes up with big hits type of guy. Listen, not the high end of the draft type of guy, but you get him towards the end of the draft and you're very happy with
you'd
him.
say short-handed in the field?
Sure, listen, from what I've seen, I've only seen him with non-gold balls, for full disclosure. I've seen him in the Brooklyn League. I've seen him also play extremely well in the Coyle League, and I know he's a good rah-rah guy, great teammate type of guy.
Okay.
Slender build, pretty quick, high motor type. I see good things for him. Again, he's one of those guys, you're happy with him as a role player on your team. He's not going to hurt you.
All right, beautiful. Then we have Shmuel Lewis. He's back for more.
And Shmuel Lewis, just for full disclosure, would like to play second base this year.
Okay, but we know he could catch.
We know he can catch, play short center, etc.
Tommy Ishak.
Tommy, can you hear me?
Tommy, can you hear me?
Tommy, can you hear me?
Okay, so that we would imagine is going to end up with Teddy.
Yeah.
Let's see. We hear Tommy's in great shape. I hear he was on the new abs diet
Tommy,
for the last 6 months. He's on the new abs diet.
Tommy.
And he's excited to get right back into
Yeah,
it.
listen, I think Tommy also grew out his hair.
Oh, wow.
Because people were having a hard time differentiating
The
him
two
and
of them.
Teddy.
Okay.
So I think he has a little bit of that wave going on. So
Cute.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, Isaac Cabasso, latest edition.
Yes.
Was in the league 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And he's back.
He was on the Stephen Gindy team 2 years ago.
Very good hitter, up the middle type, right field type, like that.
Lefty, right?
No, he batted righty, but he was a good hitter. He was a
Oh,
pretty
okay.
good hitter. Defensively, he's an athlete. He's one of the best hockey players in our community. But translating into softball, he had a very strong first 3-4 weeks.
I believe he was his second or third week. He was like
he went wild. He had like a 7 for 8 week.
Yeah, he had a big week. Listen, he has the ability to hit. He can pick up a ground ball. I think you're not hurting yourself by putting him at second base. I think he'll get the job done.
He's been itching to get back.
I know.
in.
Listen, I've been getting texts from him weekly. He's one of those guys that are really working at his craft to get back in the fold and become that guy.
Now, Butchie Cohen, great third baseman, solid hitter. His power only got stronger over the years. Strong guy.
Getting a little older.
But
Still a good hitter.
Still a solid hitter. I know Sunday morning now he's hitting well. He's another guy who's on a victim of a 0-6 team, so he's probably itching.
Oh, he's hungry.
And
here's a guy.
Talk about hungry.
Here's a guy I want to talk about right now, and he's back, and he's coming off injury, but he's healthy, and we know his build is bigger than, in the words of Ike Mavora, he's built like a truck.
Guy is in fantastic shape. Mark Barsano. His arm is feeling better now. He was coming off of an arm surgery, and then he hurt his ankle, and then he had a ass surgery. So he had a lot of different things going on. But like Sammy said, he's feeling great, looks great, one of the best looking guys in the draft, and excited to see where he goes because he got lost in the mix. He wasn't in any draft in the morning, and now he's here. And he is a big bat.
Yeah, no, he's a guy that
a strong
I could see him going in the next round or so because just people fall in love with his size. People fall in love with his position. He plays really good third base. So
great guy too.
I'm happy with Mark Barsano that he's back.
He's very easy going.
Another welcome back we have.
Yeah, Nussi Yakubovic.
Nussi.
Yeah, so Nussi is a player. He could play third base and he could hold down, even though he's a big guy. Sammy don't love the idea, but he did it. Hold down in left field. He has a good step to the ball and he judges the ball, but he put himself down as a third baseman.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
So he may rather play the infield. We know he has power. His rookie year, we talk about people adjusting as a rookie. His rookie year, the league couldn't adjust to him.
I think he was batting like a 650 through the first 5 weeks of the year. Yeah.
Then he became a good player, good hitter, but he did tail down. Let's see what happens this year.
Yeah, then we have Captain Sammy Esses back at it at the captaincy. We already spoke about his first 2 picks. Sammy, to me, there's been 2 different Sammy Esses we've been seeing over the last few years. A few years ago, he was lights out at third, became a big hitter, going the other way, and then I think last year he took a step back a little bit.
Yeah, well, he's a captain now. Nobody's picking him. He's got to pick up his own.
Right. I think he will step up back to form, just from what I feel.
Albert Massery, catcher extraordinaire.
Yes, sir.
Gold Glove candidate.
Listen, when it comes to catchers, everyone here is a really good catcher.
Good.
So we'll run through them.
Alphonse Massery usually goes late, but again, holds his own at catcher and takes pride in it.
And then we have Danny Shabbat, who is probably the best hitting catcher in the league.
Won the World Series last year. My Yitzhak actually loved him. David Cohen. 2 out of 3 last World Series. He's a catcher. Isaac Cohen.
Icy hot.
Yes.
So, listen, he put himself listed as a catcher, basically telling the league, I will do whatever it takes to contribute to a team. And we saw Isaac can hit.
He's great. Isaac could definitely hit. One of those, when he's on his game, line drive hits that you can't defend. Right over shortstop, right over third, right over second. And he doesn't try to do too much, and then once in a while, he'll pop one in the gap.
Right, listen,
and
we're not going to say he's a world beater. He's definitely not, but he's definitely a good hitter.
You put him up, lay in order, he's a good guy to have on a team.
Now let's get to one of our favorite people in the whole
world.
Forget the league, the world.
Yeah, what a guy.
Jack Rubin Beebe, JRB.
Jack Beebe is an XL extraordinaire as well. The man should give XL classes. But Jack Beebe, again, a guy who can catch, a guy who can even play other positions in the field, in a spell, play the outfield for you, and a solid bat over the course of our seasons here. He's got some big hits.
The reason why I think people like to grab Beebe earlier than he probably should go to draft is his versatility. You just mentioned it. He would, like you said, in a pinch, he'll play pretty good right field. Yeah. You want to put him at first, no problem. Want to put him at second, no problem.
I don't know how old Jack is now, but he's also very fast. He doesn't look it. But he has a good set of wheels.
He has like the Fred Flintstone. His legs move fast,
but he can run well.
Yeah.
Now talk about big legs. Jacob Yogi Kasich.
I think he's got bigger legs than you have a torso. That guy he's a big boy.
Big boy. Take Aaron Enoch legs times 2. Jacob's a big boy with a lot of power.
Yogi.
We welcomed him last year, and he's back. Joey Levy, talking about being in year after year, and he's the opposite of Yogi. He's got probably the skinniest guy in the league. Lefty catcher, been part of championship teams in the field, and a catcher.
He puts rings in the back of his jersey because he's got multiple. But listen, Joey Levy, like we said, he could play catcher. He comes to play. He's happy to play. You give him an at bat, he probably will draw a walk. It's usually what he does.
Yeah, he's got, and he finds his way on
Yeah.
when he has to hit. Michael Solomon, Melech, probably going to be the first catcher off the board.
Definitely will.
If you would have to imagine, because Michael's got that personality, that leadership.
And not only that, it's funny, what he brings to the table, the intangibles, it makes up for other things that, let's just say, another catcher will have that he doesn't have. But the overall package is why he's usually the...
Right. He's a great defender.
And he's the most clutch hitter there is in the league.
Strong, and he can bat him 4 in any lineup. So, and Michael looks good. I saw him the other day.
Oh, Zempic?
And I don't know what he's doing, what he's not doing, but he looks good. He's fit again. So, Raymond Esses, Ray Esses.
Berry.
Yeah, Berry could play first, could play third, but put himself down as a catcher as well. And I think he's catching Sunday morning, YMSL. So he wants to contribute in the catcher role.
And Ray also, at this point in his career, just wants to help contribute to a team whichever way he can. He brings so much to the table aside from statistics, but between his strategic game planning, between his scouting reporting, and obviously when he comes up big with a hitter here and there. And defensively, listen, I saw him play really good first base. So I'm
he
shocked.
Played first, could play third. Like I said, he could play short center, and now he added catcher to his repertoire.
Right.
Speaking of rookies now, here we go. Ricky Rothstein.
The Railroad.
Yes. So now Ricky, great personality, fun kid to have on the team. I had the honor of coaching this kid for about 4 or 5 years.
You tell me if I'm wrong. You told me he's one of the most prolific power bats in the league.
He could hit. So I played with him in a few tournaments. One tournament he played Care. He was not on my team. And from what I hear, he hit well then too. He has gap power. He does. And he could go on really good streaks hitting.
All right,
Big kid.
You want him or Danny Shabbat on your squad? Quick, go
I
ahead.
take Danny Shabbat.
Wow, okay.
But because he's a veteran and he's easygoing, he knows the league. But Ricky could go on a tear.
So I'm excited for the Railroad only because I hear his personality is...
He should be a good interview.
Just as prolific as his hitting, so I can't wait for that.
Alan Jamal.
AJ.
Okay, so now Alan is a very interesting bag. He's very interesting because his stock was rising through the roof, and then it started going down a little bit.
I think it just plateaued. People were expecting him to take a leap to go to
second round status. That's
first,
what we were waiting.
First, second round. They were giving him the comps of Michael Beta as a young kid.
Yeah, he's got the body. He's
However,
got the speed.
However, his defensive prowess never took a hit.
We know he could play center field and do it well. So that's not a problem. So he might get drafted as a center fielder this year, but we're waiting to see his bat become electric. We're waiting for it to happen while we're waiting, because we know it can. Okay, Albert Cohen was drafted already.
Alco, we know Alco. We spoke about him.
Albert Dweck, something not a rookie, but important to bring up.
All right, so Albert River Dweck. So now did play in this league before, like you said. I think he played right field. He was on the club growing up squad. He was on. I think he played in the league for multiple years.
He did, and he couldn't come for whatever reason.
No, he tore his MCL, and then he didn't play for a few years. But I know he's back in shape, and he's excited to play.
Very excited. Again, another guy who could play any outfield position and play it well defensively.
He could play center field.
And if his wheels are back, if he could run the way he used to, he could be a very good bat. Small guy, not easy to pitch to.
He's like a drag bunt type guy that ends up on second base. That's what he does. So,
David Buka was drafted.
Buka, great. And then here's a guy that confuses me because I think he should be having a better year than he had last year.
Yeah,
and that was Elliot Mann.
Elliot Mann, lefty, small guy that has more power, and again another guy who could play any outfield position. So we expect Elliot. Like you said, we expect more.
Right.
And I'm playing with him Sunday morning. He's getting some good hacks. He's hitting the ball well, and I'm excited for him to join again and only get better and better.
Same here. Next up is I think a player that everyone loves and everyone wants on their squad is Isaac Sasson.
He quickly went through the...
and you know what? I don't know if you remember. It was on the Blue Moon squad when that team was dead in the water and guys weren't showing up towards the ends. And those are the guys you don't see in the draft this year and years to follow. But he was a guy that came in, week out, and impressed and opened everyone's eyes. And
true.
Last year he ended up coming back and he was great. So
yeah, even on a bad year, when you come in and play and people see your talent, it helps you for the future and go out there and have a good time. There's going to be years when you're on a bad team. It's just natural. So Isaac Sasson, I could see him getting center field this year.
I mean, he definitely has the ability, and he's got great arm also.
Next 3 guys were drafted: Joseph
Verratti, MC and Nutty,
Nathan Orbach, Soli Safdie won a championship in center field. We know can hit really well. So let's see where he goes again. A strong bat. I always get, I'm not sure where he's going to go in the draft, but we know he's a winner.
He's a mid-rounder, gets the job done, and then some in the outfield, and we know he can hit. So,
Real hitter. Jimmy Cohen, another hungry player.
well, he's also 0-6.
He's the captain.
The captain of 0-6.
16,
Okay.
so-
Former captain, multiple-time captain in M&S, and he finally gets to come in without any of that responsibility on his
No
head.
pressure.
I think it's going to help him big time.
Okay, Shimmy noted could play all outfield and could play infield. So he is a versatile guy. Now, big rookie alert. Rookie. Abraham Krieger. Now,
Krieger.
We did our homework. And when we talk about each rookie, we personally rated just in the rookies themselves, who's going to...
Who is going to be the odds-on favorite for Rookie of the Year, and
Right,
this
like
guy's
that.
one of them.
He is one of them. Abraham Krieger is a ball player. He wrote infield. He's a fast runner.
Yeah.
I heard he could probably do both. His number is there for all captains to call. So that's something that anybody can do. He's available to speak to anybody and everybody. We know Uri Adler obviously knows him.
Yeah.
But he's available for everybody to pick. And
Definitely.
he's one of the higher run rookies.
Now, how about the next name we're about to mention? I'm super excited about this one, and welcome back.
Far from a rookie.
Far from rookie. He's actually the legends of legends. He's one of the OG M&S members. Has a championship or two, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't remember.
He definitely does. Yeah.
Mo Shama, welcome back, SpongeBob.
Yes, Morris Shaman noted one of the best shortstops in community history.
Yeah.
Now that being said, he said to me he doesn't have to play shortstop. He don't mind playing third. He can play short center. He can play second. Now, my opinion, I still think he might be one of the better defensive shortstops.
Listen, him on one leg is better than half the shortstops that claim to be shortstops.
Stays in great shape, and he's another guy. Again, he hasn't played in a while, but he's another guy similar to Carlos Abadi who hit better at night than he did Sunday morning. Sunday morning it was a first-round pick because of his glove. Yeah, he still got big hits, but at night I feel like the big field was beneficial to Morris over the course of the years.
Also defensively, because the way he situates himself defensively on
he plays
guys,
those games.
he gets into your head, and he usually comes out on top. So welcome back, Mo Shama. Now
Welcome
another
back, World Series winner last year, Yankee
Gutman always finds his way towards the end, always there in the World Series or semis, comes up with big hits after big hits.
Thing about Yankee also, his bat never disappeared. I mean, it did actually.
Listen, he was suspect defensively last year. Let's just
But
put that nicely.
defensively, yeah, he went down a little bit defensively. He started as a shortstop. He got moved. I don't think he'll play shortstop this year, which is a good thing for him. He could play short center or second, and he's a real bat in the lineup.
All right, rookie alert, rookie alert.
Here we go. David Minzer.
Minzer, he's one of the boys that you saw at KJ.
That's right. So he's been going to KJ 3 days a week hitting. He's taken his game very seriously. I played with him in Lakewood a few times, so he could play. He could play third base, he could play second base, and he could hold down an outfield position. He could do all of them above average, or maybe a little bit above, say it like that. His bat is what he's very excited about. As mentioned, he's been working at it, so that's a big one.
So that's a nice rookie that we just highlighted. And now coming up next, another rookie.
Big rookie.
From what you've told me, he is the odds-on favorite for Rookie of the Year.
So I'm a big fan. I coached this boy, and I know him for years. Morris Levy, tall, skinny. It's Ike Levy, Monmouth Builders.
They call
his
him
son.
Momo, they call him?
Momo Levy. Great football player. Very good basketball player. He's an athlete, and he plays softball. So I've coached him. He's a center fielder when I coached him, and he really did it well. He'd be Gold Glove candidate in a corner outfield. I feel confident with him in center. It's fast, long righty.
You want to give me a comp?
Strong hitter. It's hard. I don't know why. I'm not coming up with a comp. I can see him being a really good bat. I don't know why I'm not.
Come back to it.
Well, Alan Jamal maybe, but maybe he could be a better hitter. But Alan Jamal maybe a little bit not a good comp. But
terrible. All right, no comp for him. Momo,
but real
can't wait
player.
to see you.
Momo could actually pitch as well, by the way. He didn't put himself down as a pitcher.
I don't think captains like that. Heck, he also could pitch. He's a center fielder.
Whatever, center fielder. He's a center fielder, outfielder.
Next up, league stalwart Yossi Abramson. Multiple player of the week type guy. Comes up with huge plays in the outfield, big hits, those line drives over third base when he's going well.
Yossi's a funny one for us because some people are tremendous fans of his, and some people the other way.
Yeah.
Not as he's a great teammate, easygoing guy, but as a player, some guy, wow, this guy, whenever he's on a team, he's always deep in the playoffs, which is true. And some guys say, it's in spite. So
now we have back-to-back rookies. First up, Alex Taub.
That's
a lot of you guys that play in the Koya League, Tahina knows Taub, and also Brooklyn. Speedy corner, more of a right fielder, really fast, great kid, really Ademi boy. Actually, A.B. Saka's nephew.
Okay.
Just a little tidbit of information, but he plays. I'll tell you one thing: he plays. He plays in multiple leagues a year, so it's not like he's not in softball shape.
I don't know anything about him. That was the Sammy one, and hopefully he's going to be great outfielder.
And next up, a guy that you know better than I do.
Yeah. So this next guy, David Brescher, another KJ guy.
Is it Brecher or Brescher?
Brescher. David Brescher.
CH though.
He said Brescher, like Hanukkah or Chanukah. I don't know, but David Brescher, lefty, tall, about 6'2". Tall, skinny, fit lefty, has a load of power, a lot. Could he drive it over the wall? I don't know how many people have done it, but a lot of power lefty outfielder. Above
lefty,
average,
he has more of an opportunity to hit it over than a righty.
Yeah, it's a little shorter there.
And he has to touch first base.
Yuck. But again, you're not supposed to be talking about trying to hit over. Anybody who tries to do that, you're in trouble, unless you're Hank. But a real player, a lot of power. I love the idea of lefties at the plate that are good hitters because they could use the field and it's your bat. It's just easier to hit in a way.
Yeah, it challenges the field in front of you also.
It does a little bit more, and he could play the outfield. Good corner outfielder. Welcome to the draft. Welcome. He's been very excited to join us.
Yeah,
and he's in. Happy to have you.
Next up, Leo Seton, also a mixed bag. I mean, in his rookie year on the Diamond in the Rough squad, he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. He was really, really awful offensively, but he played a pretty good outfield. Last year, however, Teddy unlocked something with him, and he actually had a tremendous year offensively, gap-to-gap hitter.
Yeah, he ended up batting like 10th in that lineup.
He was good, but again, which Leo is going to show up this year? Year one Leo or year two Leo?
Sunday morning, because he joined YMSL.
I don't think he's getting at-bats in the morning. I think Sammy Estes is getting his at-bats.
It's a mixed bag. Like, he started hitting well, and now he's not hitting, but maybe like you said, he hasn't been getting all the at-bats.
I think he's a guy that if you put your belief into a guy like that,
Leo.
I think it's a smart decision. Good teammate, very big rah-rah guy also.
I'm a big fan of Leo. I think you said, I think he's supposed to
I don't see many that are not a fan of Leo. I think Leo's a great athlete, great kid, comes from a great family, and I think he's a guy that anyone should have on their team and be happy to have him.
And he's always on time.
Yes.
Time.
Okay. Next up, rookie, Penny Silverstein.
Right, far from a rookie, really.
I mean, rookie to M&S.
Yeah, so I played with Penny on tournaments. I played with him YMSL. He was my right fielder. Penny's a great guy. I'm wondering how big his beard is right now, because it's big anyway, announced Omer, so wow. Penny's been dying to get in. We know Penny could play. We know he could be strong. We know he could be good. We know he's a great guy on the team. And welcome to the league. We feel bad. Over the other years, he was in and we didn't realize it, and he had to be out.
So that's what it is. He's in now, and let's just be happy.
We're in, and we're happy for you.
Next up, we have Soli, the kid Esses. I don't care.
Rising star.
Until he's 50, he'll be the kid.
He's a rising star.
He's only getting better,
yes.
And we know he's a diehard as it gets. He loves the sport, loves the game.
Soli can hit.
Loves the camaraderie. Great arm in center and left.
Yes. Even infield. I think Soli is a rising star.
He's one of those guys that the hardball scene translated to softball, because he's a hardball guy.
So that's a big plus. Where he's going to end up as a full-time locked-in player, I don't know yet. He's still young. You can put him at second, put him in center, like you said. He's playing left field, also on an 0-16.
Yikes.
So another guy who's probably very excited. But I'm a big fan of Soli Esses.
Next up, Victor Abadi, a.k.a. Mr. Cream.
Cream of the crop. Victor has been a stalwart in the league. Great guy.
He gets big hits, I'll tell you that.
Sure does.
You can even put him in right field and get away with it. Even in left field, you know?
He does it. He holds his own. He's one of the most easygoing guys in the league. Got good wheels. Great guy to have on a team. Doesn't hurt that he brings cream to the bench sometimes. And welcome back. We love you.
Next player I want to highlight is Lawrence Kurtz. Welcome back. He was injured last year with a torn ACL, but he's back. It took a full year to rehab and then some.
Very interesting. He wrote short center field.
He actually texted me. He said, please tell the captains I would like to only play short center field. So,
really? So infield?
Infield,
I'm not going to say short center.
Yeah, infield.
Second base?
I guess he wants to give his knee a little bit more of a spell, but listen, he told me he's healthy, but he wants to play the infield. I know he can play the infield. I've seen him do it.
Okay, so I was about to ask you.
Yeah, I've seen him do it in Brooklyn, and he could hit, man. He could hit.
He could hit, and he had. I mean, I guess he's not going to have a chance to showcase it.
Crazy arm.
Yes, a ridiculous
I think he
arm.
probably has the best arm in the league.
Yeah, he's one of those guys like David Farker when he was younger, had that arm. Like some guys just can uncork it.
There's pop when it hits the glove.
Yeah, he has one of those types. Maybe on the infield,
Next up, we have Bernie BP Pindek.
One of the best hitters.
BP.
Great hitter, could bat fourth in any lineup, and been working over the years on his defense, only getting better.
I think, listen, we know he tried to do the third base experiment a few years ago. It didn't really work out, but I think short center is actually the right spot.
Short center or second, I think he can handle it, and a noted bat. Talking about a good bat, Nathan Kushner, another strong bat, can play the outfield. Last year played a decent short center field for the team that was in the World Series. So Nathan Kushner,
and we know he's a former batting title winner. He's always usually a plus 500 type guy, a guy that you get mid to late in the draft and you're ecstatic about because your lineup all of a sudden gets rounded out. So
Sal Fowles was drafted. A.B. Saka, welcome back to the league off of his surgery. Talking about hitting, he does want to swing again because he's healthy. Ali Marshall was taken in the second round, Hall of Famer. Eddie Nissim, very happy to have you back.
Yeah, last year in his comeback season.
Yeah. Talk about hitting, by the way. He's an underrated bat also, Eddie Nissim.
I'm saying, I don't know if you remember on that Sammy S's team, Titletown, he started out dreadful, and then he just turned the corner and single-handedly pitched that team into playoff contention.
When Eddie's going bad, it's too many walks, which is usually the case with pitchers that are streaky. But yeah, he found his zone and lefty with that herky-jerky motion. Good pitcher.
Yeah, then Edmund Beta, speaking about a good pitcher and captain this year.
Again, now a championship nighttime pitcher who's going to be around, Ralph Hannon. He's swinging the bat very well right now.
You said a key thing. He's going to be around. That means he's not traveling this year,
that's a big,
which his draft stock takes a big uptick.
Yeah, it goes up big time. He's been going to 15 different stadiums. He was in every stadium except M&S Park. Now he's not going to be traveling. We know Ralph at night is a force, and I think something only better. Sunday morning, he's not pitching. So I think
he's going to be fresh.
Yeah, he's going to be fresh, and more than that, he's hitting the ball Sunday morning. He's getting every at-bat, and from what I hear, he's hitting the ball well. So I'm excited to see Ralph Hannon this year at night on the mound and getting some swings.
Speaking about excitement and a rookie alert is a guy that you're going to speak more about because all I have heard is great things, but you have actually seen him in the flesh.
Yeah,
is one of the best athletes in the community, Robert Tobias.
Yes, Robert Tobias comes from pitching stock. His father was a pitcher way back when, and Robert pitched throughout all high school, pitched in other leagues as well. Now, back in it now, but like you said, one of the best volleyball players, if not the best in our community.
Volleyball, basketball. Listen, we know he's a freak athlete, and if he is investing time into his sport, usually the freak athleticism translates. However, it's a bit scary on the mound, but you're saying he pitched before.
The big thing to this.
But he's tall and long on the mound.
Yeah, there's two big things here. There's other great athletes. I remember, I'm not going to say a name, maybe Saka would know. It was in the wine myself. He picked one of the best basketball players ever, and the guy couldn't hold the bat straight. This guy has done it. He's played baseball. He's played softball. He's a lefty when he swings, and he really could hit. Could play the outfield even, but he's not joining the league to play the outfield. This kid wants to pitch.
He's all in on the mound.
He's not like, oh, I never did it before. He's all in. He's practicing.
And I think
he's done it.
I think people's apprehensiveness of drafting him early, where he really should be going, is going to help his team tremendously. His team's going to be more well-rounded.
We do have a pitcher rule this year, right? By the 6th round, every pitcher has to be taken. So if he's going to get the benefit of getting taken in the 6th round, I think yes. I think it's going to be a big plus.
And I think he's going to be turning some heads and be a staple in this league for years to come, hopefully.
Hope so. Love that idea. And by the way, he's a rookie. but he's not 18.
Right.
He's 26.
Right.
He's battle tested, and he's been through a lot of pressurized moments in all sports.
And tournament moments, etc.
Yeah. Yakov Soroya, psychopath, one of the best hitters in the league, if not the best.
Yeah.
Excited for you, Yak.
Perfect way to put it.
Yes.
Then Yehuda Fallis, who was pitching this year. He pitched last year in a pinch when they needed him. I've seen he's got pop on his fastball.
I'm very excited about him pitching.
Me too. I think he's a dark horse for Cy Young, actually.
Me too. So what I love about Fallis this year as a pitcher is that he got to pitch a little bit last year. So he got to put his foot in the water, feel what the league is about when he's pitching.
And then we saw him perform in the World Series and the whole postseason.
Hitting, that's not a question.
I'm saying he knows the pressure. He doesn't feel it. Doesn't
We know he's
face
a top 5 guy in any lineup, maybe top 3 in a lineup. His potential is through the roof with that. But he has pitched in the league with Edmund Beta there, saving his arm because he had a big playoff game the next day, which was understandable, but it didn't hurt the team. The guy pitched great. And now he called up during the year, I want the challenge, I'm in the mood to pitch, I'm excited to pitch. And like Sammy mentioned, he's been working on it.
Listen, I've seen him pitch recently. I've gotten a few videos from a few players outside of his school where he was pitching. And the guy looked real good. It looked strong. So
Excited.
that's that. So
Yitz Sutton was drafted already. Yitz got some pressure on him now.
Yeah.
Taken early.
Here's a name we should really talk about. The next 2 names, actually, should really be highlighted. But the first one is Haron Nuni Cohen.
Yeah, so Haron Nuni, usually his stock, it's been shooting higher and higher.
Now it's going to take a big hit.
Maybe a little bit of a hit because he's very outwardly saying he's not playing outfield.
He's adamant, I don't want to play the outfield. So if a really good outfielder says, I don't want to play the outfield, we know he can play the infield. We've seen him do it.
We've seen him play shortstop.
Yeah, on the Tomahawk squad.
Yeah,
but
he was good. He's a very good shortstop.
He was pretty good. He's a great outfielder. He was pretty good infielder.
Right, he could hold it, but he doesn't have to play shortstop. Put him at short center field, put him at second base.
Yeah, but I remember he had a funny throwing motion with his arm, so I don't think third base would be a good thing for him either.
All right, quick release, I'm not sure. But Haron Cohen is an infielder, still a top hitter in a lineup. Fun guy to have on a team, of course. But, like we say, for the 5th time, he's an infielder. There's players that are only infielders, so obviously he has value, but his value might have diminished a little bit.
For sure. And now here's a rookie that I think the last big rookie to highlight, and I'm not sure if it's the last rookie we're going to be talking about, but is Avrami Rosenberg.
So our reports tell us,
out of all the Dub recruits
he's the highest one.
From the South Atlantic League, he was the top billing guy.
Yes. Does it always translate? We don't know. But he right now, to us, would be the first taken off the board of the Dubs, and maybe of all rookies. You know, he's an infielder, puts himself down as a shortstop, and has played shortstop for years.
Yes, sir. And speaking of someone that's going to want to play shortstop, he's a guy that proved himself, and then some last year at third base, is Eric Citron.
Eric Citron, great player. Gold Glove candidate at third. That's for sure.
No, he's filthy.
And he actually played shortstop last year as a sub or when somebody was missing.
His first career hit was a grand slam.
That's right.
Yeah.
And he held it on big, and he's a great teammate. I'm the honor of playing with him right now Sunday morning.
Great kid, great family, great dad, great everything.
And you get his father to come to some games too, which is a big plus. Okay, we love Charlie. Gabe Abadi, of course, is a captain, one of the best shortstops in the community. Another good potential shortstop, Jack Barnathan. We all know he's going to hold his own at any position on the field. He's a small little guy, makes good contact. Jack's great.
And then we have, and speaking of good hands, we have Jackie Sutton, your son.
That's right. So Jackie's been unbelievable at third, Gold Glove third base. Would love the opportunity to play shortstop. I'm his dad, but I personally think if he gets a chance at shortstop, he could shine again.
So I think everyone got a taste of what Jackie could do in the infield. He's actually getting much better offensively, which will help him as well.
That's big. Last year, on that weird, was it the Tomahawks you said, Michael Cohen?
Yeah.
He was one of the shining hitting stars. Ended up having to bat 4th or 5th in that lineup, which was a lot on him, but he got some big hits. Jackie's stronger.
And now welcome back to the league. He's played in the league for a few years, but now he's a way different player than when he played the first 2 go-rounds. It's Joey Cohen.
Yeah, cool tidbit about
shortstop Joey Cohen.
That's right. So Joey could play short and could play it at a high level, but Joey did go out of his way to tell us he would have no problem playing the outfield.
That's the type of team guy you want.
Yeah, he's great. He said if you have your field set and you want a good player, He'll be happy to play left field, right field, center field, and he for sure can do it. He's got a set of wheels and he can judge the ball well.
Speaking of good players, JoJo Mamie, usually the top of the draft over the last 2 years, and there's for a purpose.
JoJo Mamie, I was looking back at last year's draft, already got drafted in last year's draft.
Yeah, so he actually is falling.
He fell a little bit. JoJo's a bat. JoJo just got married, but he stayed in great shape, and he's excited to play.
And then welcome back to the league, Morty Shrem.
Yeah, another
Morty,
great
listen,
defender.
we have so many good defensive players this year in the draft.
Strong defensive infielders.
If you look at the top to bottom of this draft, no matter where you're slotted, no matter what round you're going, you're always going to be able to find yourself a glove, which is huge.
I feel like on the infield this year, everybody's going to be able to, even if you don't draft them early, I'm not giving over draft strategy, they can do whatever they like.
Speaking of another really good shortstop, and we saw him do it and carry a team, is Ralph Wamashama.
Yeah, there was that year with Jackie Cohen, who was usually an okay shortstop, was going through some woes.
And then he just took him over. That was on a Mellex team, the Punishers, actually.
And he really showed us he could play.
No, he could pick it. I'll tell you one thing about, not a great hitter, he goes the other way, bloops here and there, Jatarian style, but defensively,
he's up there.
He's one of the best.
Yeah,
he really is.
Really, really great defensively. Dwama, Ralph Shama. Sammy Saruya, top billed shortstop.
Stud.
Yeah, first round. Stephen Gindi, say the same. Championship winner, stud, best leader.
MVP, he'll tell you.
That's Teddy Ishak, getting a little long in the tooth, but still could win a championship at shortstop.
Known as Tommy's brother.
That's right. Remains to be seen if he's going to be at shortstop. Is he going to stay
Listen,
there?
I think Teddy proved over the last 2 years he's okay to move in the right circumstance.
Right, which is a sign of a great captain.
Yeah, listen,
he's
last year...
not stubborn to, I have to play there. He's high of himself on shortstop, which he should be, but if you see that the team could be good, and when you move, nothing wrong with that
I think last year he got a purview of that when Gabe selected him, and obviously Gabe was playing shortstop, and he went to third. Gabe became the on-field captain, or the on-field captain, or sorry, Teddy was the on-field captain, and Gabe was the chill off-field.
Well, Teddy, I forgot about that. Played a really good third. He had like 1 or 2 weeks where he wasn't seeing the ball well.
I think third base is best suited for Teddy at this point because his range doesn't have to be, what it was at short. He just gets anything in his vicinity, and we saw his arm. He gets the job done.
So his arm got a little stronger over the last 2 years. He's been working on it with KJ, his motion, had a release, and he got a little bit better there. So that's big.
And then finally, to round out the entire list, Captain Uri Adler.
Token J.
That is all 84.
Again, and Uri also doesn't have to land himself at shortstop, but can if he would like.
So, there's plenty of options as we see. We're very excited. Draft's going to be in 6 days, Sunday the 19th.
Very excited.
We'll putting out the rosters shortly after. Website will be updated. Look out for more media and more shows previewing and getting ramped up and excited for the upcoming season.
It's that time.
I got a good feeling about this year. It feels good. The vibes are at an all-time high, immaculate vibes. And let's get ready to rock and roll.
A lot of new fun talent. Good luck. Have a great day.